given your support to the community, to the project, as far as, creating that scarcity through that tier four hatchery. The golden hatchery is just kind of a benefit to you and to the project for as long as you want to keep it there. So we may add in a cancel button to that golden hatchery where you can, maybe remove a percentage of it or something like that. We're working on that one. We got to make sure that that golden hatchery complements the project. It doesn't remove, like I said, doesn't remove too much of those tokens. So everything I do with this project has to work mathematically. It has to mathematically have a purpose. So everything in life is math and science. I swear to God, it really is. Um, and that's what this project is based on, is total math. And I love this question. What will we do to get the price back up? Well, the price is going up. How do you get that price to go up? You create a demand for the token. How do you create a demand for the token? You share it with people. You explain to them how this project works. They're already doing the activity every day already. Why not make money doing it? Right? This is the best project out there. How do you get the market value to go down? Oversell it. Sell it when there isn't a demand. I mean, there's for every action, there's a reaction. Okay, if the action is the community is growing, what's the reaction? The market value goes up. If the action is to sell it before the demand is there, what's the reaction? The market value is going to go down. It's not rocket science, guys. It's pretty common sense. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being really honest with you guys. Well, all the Android devices are approved right now. The problem is, you know, people who are manually uh, adding in their data. That will be stopped here very shortly. So if people are adding in their data manually, it just won't be counted. You won't be able to submit. It'll block your submission. And we're almost there. We're pretty close to breaking the code on that. So, if you don't want to have your submissions blocked, I would suggest you get a fitness tracker and use it. It's worth the money to spend it. They're cheap. They're not that expensive. I mean, I know the Apple Watches are a bit pricey, but they're great. And of course, I'm an Apple addict. I only use Apple products, but I mean, we will stop the manual submissions. And it doesn't matter to me if the community likes it or not. And I'm not saying that again to be rude. It's just the bare bone facts. This project is based on your proof of physical activity. And if you're just using your finger to punch in on a keyboard, I did 20,000 steps. I have 2,000 calories that I burned. I walked 10 miles. I did a 2-hour workout and I slept for 8 hours. I mean, you might get away with that right now, but that's coming to a real fast end. And I'm not going to feel sorry if it blocks your submission. Don't manually submit your activity. If you want to get your workouts counted, go get yourself a fitness tracker, turn on your workout. I mean, it's plain and simple. This market value of this token is going to go up. I don't care. I had somebody tell me a few weeks ago, well, I've spent so much money on Titans, and what do you care if I'm, manually entering my physical data? Oh, I don't care what he does. That matters not to me. What matters to me is everybody else out there who's actually doing the hard work, who's actually putting in that proof of physical activity, who's actually doing it the right way. The people who are trying to gain on the system, they're taking MoveQuest away from those of you who are not. Those are the people I care about. I don't care about the people who are cheating the system. They don't matter to me. What matters to me is that I stop them from being able to do that. I break the mold on that. I care about the people who are doing it the right way, who would be mining more MoveQuest tokens if it weren't for those who are doing it the wrong way. So I have no sympathy for people who are doing it that way. I don't care if they don't like it that we're putting an end to it. It doesn't matter to me. If you don't like it, go to one other project and, mine for a nickel. Uh, a token over there that's worth a nickel or even less than a nickel. But this token here that can go up even higher than what Bitcoin's market value is, I do care about that. I want this to be a legitimate project. And not only that, but if you look at your different health companies, insurance companies, they don't actually get your data because we don't store it, but we are working on a way for you to be able to share it with them. They want accurate data. It would be your choice if you shared it with them. And then they would be able to give discounts on medical insurance and these different things that cost people a lot of money, or they could offer you perks or different things like that. And again, it's decentralized, so you would have to decide whether you want to share that information with these companies or not. It's not something we do because we don't hold it. So I do care about the legitimacy of this project. I do care that it's done right. I've put 4 years of my time into this to make it the best project on the planet in the crypto space. Our developers have worked hard, our core team, our designers, everybody has worked so hard, even you as a community, those of you who are doing the hard work for that proof of physical activity. You really want to get less tokens because somebody wants to manually add in that data. So that is coming to an end. And then if it comes down to what Androids are going to be approved, then we would give you a list of what those would be. The best way to solve that problem, though, is for people to use a fitness tracker if you want your workouts counted. Don't manually add in that data. And if you are right now, it is slipping through. However, our system is starting to collect that data so we can see how it's being used, where it's coming from, what devices. We don't know who you are. We just know what types of devices it's coming through, what applications it's coming in on. So we can start knocking those out and we can start making it more difficult for a person to cheat the system. And I'm sorry, guys, if you guys don't like it, but I think it's fair. A lot of people laugh at me. What do you care? I do care because there's people that are doing it the right way that would be getting more Movequest if it weren't for those who are cheating the system. So I care very much. And you all know me. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I don't even know how to sugarcoat something. I just got to tell you how it is. There's no, why waste your time, right? Give it to you the way it is. Give it to you straight.
All right, all right. Well, Miss Lynette, we definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your busy evening. We know you just got back into town, getting acclimated to moving from the sand to the snow, or what have you. So we definitely
Oh God, and it's
appreciate.
still snowing here. I'm telling you, we have to extend our trip a couple more weeks. Were there any other questions in the chat or do people have questions? I
uh,
mean, I've got time. I've got
okay,
another 10, 15 minutes if people have questions.
okay.
I over explained the Android thing, but I think it's really important that people understand where we're going with that because I'm not changing my stand on that even a little bit.
I got you. I got you. And I know one of the things that you mentioned, I've seen several messages come through the chats in reference to the boosts or what have you. If you can talk about some of that now, great. If not, I know when the boosts are available, we will do a comprehensive breakdown on what that actually is for each and every one of them. But one question was specific with the boosts. Will they be per miner or for all miners inclusive? So if you had
Well,
nine
miners,
miners, would it be
you're basically boosting your mining dock, not so much the miner.
okay?
Um, if I understand correctly how they're developing that part. The one thing that we are doing, so for example, and I'm going to use the Titans as an example right now because we're still working on the algorithm for the other miners, exactly how that would work. Those will begin to increase our mining power based on different actions, right? Increased activity, daily submissions, continued. Uh, like, let's say you push yourself and you do more physical activity this month than you did last month or whatever. Your titans will begin to increase their mining power and then go up above 1,000% mining power. Now, if you start missing submissions or if you start slowing down your physical activity, they'll also start to decrease back down to that 400%. So that's where those boosts can help. You know, if you want to boost up that power and kind of keep it up. The boosts, you can buy them like one time use. You can buy them for a week, you can buy them for a month. We'll have to break it down for everybody so you understand it. Basically, those all take MoveQuest. So they don't take AVAX or USDT. It's all MoveQuest token. Um, but we're going over a lot of this tomorrow morning in my meeting that I have with the devs. So I'll have more information on that in a couple of days. I am not a big gaming kind of person. Like I might play Candy Crush now and then, but I'm not one that got up and played Fortnite and all these different games like a lot of people have. So I'm not the one who's creating the boost feature for this project. Everything else has come from me. The boosts, yes, we have to have the boost, the increased mining power. Yes, I am the one who come up with that for the project, but I'm not the one who's creating the details and how it's going to work and how it plays into um, the real life game of Movequest. So I'm going to be learning a lot about how it's going to work tomorrow myself from Waleed specifically.
Gotcha. You see, I'm looking over here. I had a few more.
We are going to have more phantom type miners, though. I can't wait to tell everybody about that. That's a big deal. We've got you guys. We have a monster piece coming. Like literally, I think it's going to light this on fire. Herschel, you know what it is. What do you think?
I believe it has strong potential.
Very, doesn't it? Yes.
It has potential. It has some very strong potential.
We will be the number one crypto project in the world. Bank on it. And all
Um,
you guys know I don't ever say nothing unless I'm gonna make it happen. It's you're gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen. I don't quit till I get what I want. That's what I want. So you'll see.
got a couple quick questions here. You may be able to rapid fire on these. You mentioned early in the conversation about having met most of the things in the initial or the original roadmap.
Mhm.
Is the original roadmap in the initial Gifted mining light paper, or anywhere? Was that
I'll
ever
have
published?
I'll have to look and see, and that's not even posted anymore. But what I will do is remind me, Herschel, because you know me, I'll get sidetracked. I'll
Okay.
get you a copy of that roadmap. It's in
Okay.
PDF, and I'll send it to you. We can get it up on the website or somewhere so
Perfect.
people can see what that is. Yeah, I think it's
Perfect.
important for people to see everything that we've
Perfect.
completed from day one on. Yeah.
And I think you touched on this a few minutes ago, but just so everybody can be clear and on the same page, as far as listing on CoinMarketCap,
Mhm.
you have already submitted everything.
Yes.
We're getting ready. Okay, so we have submitted, and that process typically takes roughly week two.
It really should only take a week or 2. I really can't see it being longer than that. I've had some people tell me, "Oh, they're really slow. It'll take a lot longer," but I don't think so. I've been in communication with them, so I think it's ready to go. I don't think it'll take long.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
And then that will get us I mean, then CoinGecko will grab onto it. I mean, all these, crypto.com, a lot of these different platforms and things, they'll start picking it up and we'll start getting ranked and we will be in the number one spot. We may not have the liquidity that these projects have, but when it
Right.
comes to our FDV compared to theirs, we're number one. We're the closest to being fluid than any of these projects. Our market value of our token, you know, um, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty amazing to see where we rank on all of this stuff over the next couple of months.
Speaking of liquidity, with the momentum over the last 5 or 6 days specifically, do you know off the top of your head where we are percentage wise on being fluid?
Yeah, I didn't look at anything today, but as of yesterday, now you have to understand as the market value goes up, we get further away from being
Right,
fluid, right?
right,
The lower the market value goes, the closer to fluid we get. So the goal for the project is to try to maintain, 25 to 25% to 75% fluid, 25% away from being
right.
fluid.
Okay,
Or an 80-20, somewhere in there. So we are currently 24% away from being fluid and we are 74.28% fluid. So
gotcha.
we're not bad. Now
Okay,
we're under $1 million of being completely fluid. We're 782,000. Let me put my reading glasses on. I can't see the numbers. $782,082 away from being 100% fluid. That's nothing. That's a
gotcha,
drop in the bucket.
gotcha. And then this is a question for clarity, which is a good one for everyone. As far as the golden hatchery is concerned,
Mhm.
I know that there's a certain number of MQT tokens that's currently available for distribution for those rewards. When the golden hatchery comes, or even the new hatchery for onboarding, is there a mechanism in place to keep that particular piece going, or does it have an end date at some point where there's no more tokens
No,
to?
it doesn't have an end date. So here's what happens because on April 20th, right, the
Mhm.
Movequest doesn't get returned. That Movequest will just stay inside the hatchery
Uh,
unless it's needed for liquidity. It probably will not ever be needed for liquidity because the project has already bought a ton of Movequest.
gotcha,
So what will happen is that Movequest will stay in the hatchery. Right now, 2,500 a day, is for the hatchery. And currently there's only 488 Movequests per day that are awarded through the hatchery. So we're not even meeting, we're not even close to the 2,500, but it will never run out of MoveQuest simply because the MoveQuest that is coming in will stay in the hatchery unless it's needed for liquidity. Right now, there's almost 400,000 MoveQuest tokens that the evolution that the ecosystem owns that has been purchased from the community. When the community is when every time you are submitting and claiming and docking your miners, that it's either adding liquidity or it's buying the MoveQuest token, and it's bought a ton of Movequest tokens. I mean, I think it's over 400,000 actually. In fact, to give you an idea, right now, to bring the pool fluid, it needs 75,404 Movequest tokens paired to $782,082 of USDT. The Evolution wallet is currently holding 76,154. So it doesn't even have to take from what it's put in the vault. It's already put back 400,000, a little under 400,000 into the vault. It doesn't even have to touch the vault because the Evolution wallet is currently holding 76,156 of those MoveQuest tokens. Now, that 400,000 MoveQuest tokens, I
Mhm.
mean, as the market value of the token goes up, it requires less MoveQuest paired to that USDT. So where right now at today's current market value, it's at $3.7 million worth of tokens that have been returned to the vault that it's purchased. As that market value goes up, that's really closer to like 50 to $60 million in market value of MoveQuest token as it gets back up to that $100 mark. Okay, so it's it's got, I think it'd be almost 31, 32 million, something like that, worth of MoveQuest that's sitting there. So this is so healthy, literally. I mean, some of you may not, who don't understand completely what goes on behind the scenes with crypto. This project is so stable. It's not funny. It's very strong. To be consistent, you guys have to understand, you know, what was it, 3 weeks ago? I think the liquidity had gotten down to like $954,000. But the liquidity, it has some reserve and it'll pump it in when it needs to, when the algorithm calls for it. But as the community starts to grow again, you see it starting to maintain again at that $1.5 million, which it's consistently stayed at for what, 7 months, 6 months, something like that. People are selling every day, anywhere from $15 to $50,000 worth of MoveQuest every single day. But the liquidity maintains at $1.5 million. Now, how's that possible? And people ask me, well, how does somebody, how do people, or how has the community sold $25 million worth of MoveQuest? Well, think about it. Add up, and on some days it's even higher than that. We've had days where it was 300,000, $400,000 worth of MoveQuest that was sold in a day. Okay. Now, how does it maintain it at $1.5 million? That's the ecosystem. That's that community engagement. That's every time you interact within that system, it's always adding in that liquidity. It's always adding, 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 adding. And so it maintains. So people are selling, 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 but it's still maintaining. Now, if you go look at any other project, what do you see? You don't see it maintaining. You see it going down, 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 down until it's just completely gone and the project is dead. So the ecosystem is what maintains it. It's not new money coming in. The new money doesn't even touch the pool. It drives up the market value because you have to buy the MoveQuest, but it doesn't have an effect on the liquidity as far as the stability of that liquidity because that MoveQuest can't be sold. It just sits. It goes back into the vault. It has no. Uh, I can't sell it. It doesn't pay out. Developers. It doesn't pay out It's not even allowed to be used to pay out our development teams. I can't take and pay them weekly with MoveQuest. It can't be done. That's selling the MoveQuest. The project cannot sell the MoveQuest. Only the community can sell the MoveQuest. So anytime you see the market value go down, it's not the fault of the project. It's it's the community that is doing it. You guys literally control the market value of this token. And so as as we start to grow and the market value goes up, it takes less MoveQuest. And right now, because the Evolution wallet itself is already holding more MoveQuest and what it needs to be completely fluid, that's a great sign. So, if it takes a month, that 782,000 is going to bring us more fluid. But in a month, the market value is going to be higher. So we still won't be fluid, but we'll always be hitting that buffer. So like if we, let's say we hit the $12 mark on the liquidity pool. Okay. And between now and then, that 782,000 is paired to that 75,000 Movequest token and added as liquidity. It's stable at, let's say, the $10.50 market, right? That means that almost everybody who sells between, 11 and $12, it wouldn't drop it below the 10 because it's got so much heavy liquidity padded in there. It took it stable at that level, that market value. As the market value of the token goes up, yeah, it's going to need more liquidity, to stabilize that next stage of the market value, which is great because it always goes in because the community is engaged. They're interacting with the ecosystem. And so that ecosystem is constantly, injecting that liquidity. When I say constantly, I don't mean it happens 100 times a day. Sometimes it only happens once or twice or 3 times a week. It just depends on what's trending at the time through the algorithm. It knows when it needs to be added. It knows when to pad it. It knows when a sell-off is coming. It knows when to correct. It has all of the details that it needs based on what happens on the market. It's very strong, you guys. This project is super strong. Um, so hopefully, I know I always give really long answers, but it's strong, it's stable, it's doing very, very good. Right now, if everybody was to sell, the lowest the market value would go is $5.15. And then we wouldn't have anybody left to sell because everything would be in the hatchery, and that's not going to happen. So remember a few weeks ago, that price kept dropping down to like that $2 mark. I think we were at $2, 2.5 cents, $2.50 or something like that was the lowest, the floor price. The floor price right now is at 515. That's great. I mean, we've doubled the market value in, 2 to 3 weeks. You guys have been doing amazing. We got some amazing builders. We got some amazing networkers. Your testimonials are starting to show long-term projects take a long time to build, right? Your fly-by-night projects that are going to be dead in a couple of months, they grow very quickly. People, they just come to them in droves because they know you've got to get in fast, you got to get out just as fast. That's not what this project does. This project will always be here. It's funny, I've had people call me up and say, well, it wasn't moving fast enough for me, and I went and did this, and that. They're already gone. I went and looked, you guys are still here. This is what I'm doing now. You guys, you're always here. Like, we're always going to be here. It's very solid.
All right. Well, that is all I have for you this evening, ma'am. Once again, I want to thank you for all of your time, energy, and effort that you put in to this project and answering all the questions in the community. And
Yeah,
we
hold on here just
we
a
look
second.
we look forward we look
Hold on.
forward to
I don't know who this is in the chat that's running their mouth,
that,
but
that's
you should really turn your video on if you're so, I hate I hate it when people do that stuff.
that's
You
that,
want to come
that,
into the chats
that's
and
okay. We move forward, man. We move forward. We are
hey, you know
moving
what? Let
this
them come
thing.
in and ask their questions
This,
because it just shows how not people that don't understand crypto, you shouldn't judge until you understand it. I don't care what people have to say about me. I really don't. But when you come into a chat like that and you start running your yapper and you got nothing to back it up with, I already know who it is. And so do you, I'm sure. Yeah, it just irritates me. But okay.
all good. All good. Once again, everything is moving and clicking on all cylinders within the ecosystem. We want to once again thank everybody in the community for all the time, energy, and effort that you put forth over the last couple of weeks to really get things cranking back with everything that's going on here. We're going to follow back up with everybody again next week with all the new exciting updates. Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll see you on the next one. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Recording stopped.